Welcome back, everybody. Tapped in with Tristan. We got a real good one for you today. Looking real forward to this one, man. This guy has a journey for sure. But before we go into it, man, I just wanted to say, hope everybody's safe out there, going through the pandemic, crossing over into this new year. Also, make sure y'all hit the subscription button and show us some love with the comments and the likes. And also make sure y'all click that bell so that way y'all get the notifications when new content comes out. Because this channel is about to really be popping, where we got a lot of guests lined up, man, with a lot of beautiful stories that will be very beneficial to a lot of people, especially our young and up and coming youth. So without further ado, we got an Amityville legend here, Long Island legend, Mr. Mark Johnson.
Oh my God, man. Tristan Smith, what up, bro?
What's going on, boss man? How we feeling today?
Feeling all right, man. Just sipping mimosa, man. You got me up early on the tape.
Yeah. I know you're living in that fast lane coming into that 2021. I know the party probably hasn't stopped, really.
Well, man, you're doing big things though, man. You're doing big things with this. This is dope. This is a dope platform for you, bro. I like what you're doing with it.
Thank you, boss. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time out to share it. You know what I mean? This is not my stage, man. This is our stage. So
Our stage. I like that. It's really dope, man. Hope the people understand everything, man. Like it's a lot. It's a lot that we putting together, and you bridging a lot of gaps that people don't even know about. So
I appreciate it.
It's a Long Island thing too, and you taking it from Long Island, and now it's like a national thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just hope everybody just come along for the journey, and you know what I mean, and play their part. I'm gonna play my part. You know what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to kind of be the assist man in this thing, and I'm gonna let you do all of the slam dunking. All right. So me included, man. I would love to know more about Mark Johnson. You know what I'm trying to say? Just a little bit of everything. So I'm just gonna walk you through kind of a series of questions and scenarios, man. I'm gonna let you just run with it. All right. So Mark Johnson, childhood, man. What does that even look like, man? Talk to me.
Childhood. Man. Yo, all right. So childhood, like I was actually born in California. My mom, she was, she did music.
Okay.
Growing up, I mean, before I was born, I'm one of 11.
Okay.
So, but
so 10 siblings.
Yeah, but she's so it was it was really different, being one of 11. She came back to New York, and this is the time of the era, man. That's what 80s, 90s.
90s.
That was that era, crack era, all of that.
Absolutely.
Was there. Fortunately my mom, she wasn't on drugs, but she had alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah.
She was the alcohol early my early childhood. She was with that alcohol, man.
She was in the music, right? Music.
Yeah. She was actually rocking with Motown for a little bit, bro.
That's kind of in the lifestyle. That's kind of big on the scene. So yeah, keep elaborating, boss man.
Yeah, so she was definitely on that scene, singing in the church, and but she still had 12 kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, like it was for her, only had a high school education. Dad wasn't really nowhere to be found like that. He was he ran around. He was in music, but he was running around with the players out from Harlem and shit. And
gotcha.
Now that's before I was born. So now I'm getting to where where I'm around. We were moving around a lot as a kid. So like I got roots. I feel like I got roots all on Long Island. you know, one of our first stops, me growing up as a kid, me remembering was Bellport. I was living in Bellport.
Bellport. Okay.
Yeah, was there for a few. Was there for like 3 years.
What age was that about, Mark?
That was probably around like 8,
About
probably
8.
from 7 to like 11.
Okay,
Seven
so
to
11
11.
was out in the Bellport area.
I was out there, man. But it was never for me, it was never no ball or no sports. I was really out in the streets. I was really out in the streets at an early age, man. A lot of people really don't even know that about me, but I'll get to that part. But
Yeah, sure.
yeah, so I was out there. You know, it was difficult, man, fighting all the time and getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And I met a dude. His name was I went to Frank P. Long Intermediate School.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a dude named Mr. Conquest. You know, little did I know as I got older, like he was really a legendary dude. And he would come get me at school and talk to me, and you know, he give you that yo, this route what you going, and this is what it looks like if you do this. And,
Some guidance.
You know, guidance. And but I'm already at a young age, I'm already in survival mode.
You're a survivor at early age. Now, of all of the siblings, were you with all of them, or you was with some of them, or any of them?
Some of them. I was with some of them. Like, you know, my brothers, like my brothers, my sisters. My mom was.
Yeah, because she was bouncing around, right?
Yeah, man. She was trying to do what she could do, the best what she could do at that time to, you know, make sure we had somewhere to live and make sure there was food on the table. And this was at an early age, so I was at survival mode, man. So I got with a dude out there, man, and he you know, he used to mess with. He used to date my sister.
Okay.
And he, you know, he was in the game. He was a player in the Wii game. Okay. So this is like 92, 90. This is like 93, 94, matter of fact.
Okay.
And you know, he would you know, I do some stops for him and do some things for him, and I'm like, really, I'm walking around with hundreds of dollars on me.
So you part of the drug game at a young age. So you live
at an early age, man. And my brother, he with it, and
y'all in the fast lane right now, early age.
Early age is survival mode, bro. In survival mode. We was in survival mode for at an early age. And you know, I had caught a little rap sheet early.
Early in the game?
Yeah. Early, not like, you know, doing time and juvenile. I was always like smart enough to know, like,
just get right outside of it.
Yeah, don't put your feet all the way in it. You know what I'm saying? Like my hustle was really, bro, was like to get video games and you know,
the kid stuff.
Kid shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anything we had, we were, you know, that was from a hustle. Like, from just a hustle. And then my mom, she wasn't really, it was really no Christmas. Like Christmas to be here, she'd do some things, but most of the Christmas thing we was our own Santa, you know? Like forced to be men of the house at an early age. But
how you feel like that shaped you, boss?
I think it messed me up.
Yeah, talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because some people like from experiencing, you know, talking to different people, some people, man, they harden from that. You know what I mean? And then it's hard for them to let other people in, or they'll go the opposite way, and the first person that show them love, they attach. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
so with me, it was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of both. So like I would attach myself to, you know, people that were genuine, but I was also fearful of, you know, people getting real close to me.
Why was that?
Because of the, you know, my living situation. I was scared that, you know, someone's gonna call CPS and my mom and all of this stuff.
I got a lot going on.
Right. And at that time, that was what was going on. You know, like my mom, she was, you know, she already lost like 3 of my siblings already.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Or she already gave like 2 of them that stayed with my aunt, and
she's in an overwhelming situation, so she's trying to fend for her life, and you got all of these moving pieces with the kids.
And you got these big ass boys growing. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So when that's fascinating, boss. We appreciate you sharing that. That definitely shapes a young man early age. When did you cross over to this basketball thing? When you start seeing that, when did Amityville come into the situation?
So fast forward to that. So around like 97, 98, I was going to Longwood.
Okay.
And I tried out for Longwoods. So 97, 98, I was like 7th grade. 7th grade, I tried out for Longwood's team and got cut.
Was you a good player then, or you know what I'm saying?
I was good enough to make that team because my first love was football. And I got cut, and it was something with the coach. It's something about he didn't like me, but he had not Vernon, his brother Clarence. And then Clarence was like Clarence Alonzo. He went to Longwood and all along and all of that. He was cool. Like he's like, no, I don't know. So it was sort of like a blessing in disguise because like 99, 2000, or was it 2000, 2001? 99, 2000, yeah, I ended up transferring. We moved to Amityville. That's where my mom is from. And I moved in and I met Mr. Hawkins.
Reynolds Hawkins.
Reynolds Hawkins, man, that man saved my life.
Shout out to Reynolds Hawkins. He was one of the big time track guys at Amityville. Also turned into teacher, kind of a mentor, and also
he saved my life because I was on the same stuff that I was on, not going to class, cutting class, hanging out with the dudes and, You
didn't see the benefit in class?
For the benefit of it, because it was just like, I'm struggling now. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's a frustration. There's like, bro, I don't want to put myself in this vulnerable position, correct?
Right. I'm struggling now. It's days where I go home, lights is off, water, no, you know what I'm saying? My mom's going to pantries. I'm wearing the same clothes, struggling. You feel what I'm saying? It was no benefit of me being in the classroom at that time to me. Not seeing, not now you see, now you look back and you like, do this and this would have happened. At that time, I was just going to school for school lunch.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? Get a breakfast, get some school lunch.
You was going there for the food. And then you trying to dip out.
Dip right out. You feel what I'm saying? And nobody gonna tell me nothing because at that point, like I said, I'm gonna take it back. I was already feeling like I'm the man of the house already.
For sure.
Because I'm already in survival mode and ain't nobody in school gonna tell me.
You've been doing that since 7 years old.
Since 7 years old. So long story short, so I get with Hawkins, man. Mr. Hawkins was like introduced me to Mr. Isabel. Iz was a tough dude on us. He was real tough on the students, especially the young black students. He was tough on us.
Yeah.
He was like, you're not gonna play on my team unless you have that 2.0, whatever it was.
Yeah, he kept a fair bar, something that was achievable, but it was accountability.
It was no stardom. Like he did not care about.
You want to start, you want to start, and then you won't be on the team over time.
Right. And him and Mr. Miller, man, and
shout out to both Coach Isabel and Miller, man. Y'all helped shape a lot of guys by just giving y'all time.
Miller wanted me to play football. It was no basketball.
Why wouldn't he though?
Miller was like, yo, play football. This is what's gonna make your money. This is gonna change your life. And I was all in football, man. It was
what position?
I was a DN and I was a tight end. And at that time, growing up, 7th, 8th grade, it was I became friends with Darrell Young, who ended up going to the NFL. And like athletically in our age group, it was just really me and him that
Y'all was the top dogs there.
We were the top dogs, especially in our sports that we were playing. But so I ended up playing, getting eligible. Being eligible for me was
That's a big deal.
SAT. You know, I was so far behind academically in certain classes. Like math was never my suit. So I would, you know, you would rebehave like I deal with behaviors now. So I would act out in like math just to get kicked out because I couldn't do it. I didn't understand it.
I'm vulnerable here. I'm out of here. So let me find the exit door. So I'm just gonna
act out, you know, do something crazy, say something crazy to the math teacher, get kicked out, you know. So those classes, that's where the academic thing for me really started to be like, all right, if I don't get here with it,
then I can't participate.
I can't participate. So I ended up getting eligible. I played half the season because then the season turned into like the second or third semester. So I was eligible enough for the first semester, never ever played after the second semester because I was already just flunking by then. Flunked the second semester, I'm not on the team. Which ended up with me flunking that year. And I ended up having to be retained in the 7th grade.
Gotcha.
So get left back 7th grade. Now it's a whole new thing for me because now academics is messed up. So I got like some 8th grade classes, some 7th grade classes, and I'm still being real truant. So I'm missing like 60 days out the year. Just, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling my mom I'm going to school, but I ain't going to school. I'm hanging out by Grand Union. I'm hanging at the mall. Like dumb, you know, like you think about it, it was real dumb, but it was
what am I doing?
It was cool at the time.
But at the same time, man, you had a lot on your shoulders too. You didn't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you didn't have the fresh clothes all the time, and you're like, and you and I both know, man, there's a lot of pressure applied to you. There's a lot of pressure applied to you in the school district, sometimes unfairly, looking at it as an adult. But it's a sink or swim when you go to school. People looking at your outfits, they talking bad about you to your face, sometimes behind your back, all these different type of things. So it can be a bit self-conscious.
Right. Very at that time, yeah, very self-conscious of things, man. So flunked that, got retained in the 7th grade, and then like my whole world crumbles because I come back and then Mr. Hawkins is where we're talking. He's like, you know, we're gonna put you in something called an inclusion special education class. So, and you hear special ed at that time as a kid, you think of the worst. You know what I'm saying? You know, you think these kids at that when you're a kid, you think special ed. Oh, these kids are dumb. You know, all those things that come with it.
Put a tag on you. You get a tag put on you for that, for sure.
And it was not even that. It was, and when you in the classroom with those kids, it's like they're not dumb at all. You know what I'm saying? And everyone is in there for like certain reasons. And my reason I was in there was all behavioral. So, but it was the best thing that could have happened to me because now I'm getting extra help. I can take
classroom, so you're getting that extra attention, man, that you need, that you never really got.
Right. I could take all the time I want on the test. You feel what I'm saying? So those things. So then things starting to like for me starting to look academically starting to look like okay, I can come to school, be in this class for like 4 periods, on change, whatever, and I'm not seeing nobody. I can play basketball, play football, be eligible. But that's only for 7 hours. I still got to go home. I still got to go home to the situation that I'm in.
What did that look like during that time?
And at that time, you know, I go home, man. It was so crazy. It'd be like every man, maybe like every 6 months, it'd be like an eviction notice on the door, bro. Like I grew up on Browns. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a tough area.
Yeah, you know. So it'd be like an eviction notice on our door, and then, you know, some way it magically disappears, and you know, whatever happens with that. But so that 8th grade year, played ball. I played like half the year. Got hurt, like twisted my ankle, and this is when I'm starting to hear about you guys.
Yeah, so this is the time. This is the time where, you know, we're trending up. Like this is
I'm trending up. I'm hearing about you guys, and
this championships is in Amityville. So yeah, you're in the middle of this. Like you're just a young guy looking up at this. Talk about
right.
that.
Right. So I meet PJ, I meet A, and everybody, we all started to, you know, come into ourselves playing sports. You know what I'm saying? And they gave me the name Scoops, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those guys, you know, so me and them, they like, yo, we playing JV. You know what I'm saying? They in 8th grade, they playing JV. You know what I'm saying? Class-wise, I'm with them. I'm supposed to graduate with them. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, I need to be playing JV too. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But they were already going to, like, you know, the Amityville camps and all those things. So they was making, you know, they had the reports with those, with ag, both ags.
You fresh in, like trying to find your way.
I'm fresh in, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm still playing, and usually, you know, Amityville used to have like a farm system. So it was almost like, you know, they'd come down and watch the team. Chris Ag would come and watch the middle school team, you know, and who's good and and then it sets it up for that JV year and so on and so on. So when he came down, I ended up getting suspended for a fight. And I never met him. I didn't meet him until 9th grade. But at that time, we ended up losing our crib. So me and my mom ended up, you know, we were going to the Chandler's church at that time. You know, Reese, the Chandler family, you know, they knew me since I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? And my mom had some friends in the church that let us live in their downstairs part. So their name was D. Brown and Tracy Smitherman. And so we with them now. And little did I know, this is going into 9th grade. This is the summer. I didn't know that they were.
And D Brown's mom, Nanny Brown was my babysitter.
That's crazy. And that's all we heard about was Tristan, and they would talk to him about Tristan.
I grew up with them.
And now all of this is fueling me. Now I'm hearing about all of this, and I'm watching the greatness that you guys are achieving. And so it's fueling me and it's motivating me. And but I didn't know they really knew anything about basketball. So when I tell people, like, I learned the game from women, that's the honest truth.
It's a fact. Well, they were teaching basketball people. They've been around Amityville basketball since the 80s. And like I said, man, I grew up probably till like around middle school. They watched me. I used to be with their family and all of those guys, the cousins, everybody. So I knew the whole Brown family. So there's a symmetry, there's a correlation right there within the town. I didn't even know.
Yeah, so they you know, D, you know, D was hard. She was hard on us a little bit.
She gonna tell you. She keep you 1,000.
She keep you 1,000, and
1,000.
But it was good because, you know what, she was teaching too at the same time. A lot of people couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the people, like, I've always been a person that could take some criticism constructively or negatively. You feel what I'm saying? It was always with me is however you gonna move with it. But you know, she broke my game down from the jump. You know, footwork, reading angles. That's what made me such a good rebounder. Is you know, learning the shooters, how that shooter shoot and where that ball gonna end up. Tracy, you know, dribbling the ball. I wasn't a big man in middle school.
Really?
Nah, I didn't play the post in middle school.
Wow.
Like I was like 6 foot, like 7th grade.
So you was doing a little bit of everything.
Doing a little everything. So at this time, when you get big, when you get tall, they automatically throw you in the post.
Let's put a pin in that right now. That's something that we've seen going up, 20, 30 years ago, where right now, that doesn't matter. You can get as tall as you want. You're still going to be perimeter oriented.
Right. So
also as we got older.
As I got bigger, so ninth grade, like I'm like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm getting bigger, so I'm in the post, and we working on post move, jump hooks, over the shoulders, all of those type of things.
And this drills, all that.
Miking drills, and we funny story, man. We run into so at this time on that team, so D had put together a little team. I wouldn't even say it was an AAU team. We were just like a neighborhood traveling team. We would travel to different parks. So with myself, with Sam, it's Darrell Young, Sam Duncan, Darrell Young, Tamar Frazier, Tyshawn Jones, some of the guys from the town, man. And we go to parks, got our jerseys on, right? So we ended up at John Jay. I'm not a John. I've never been a John Jay person. Like I've always stayed by the Mac.
It's a different feel.
Grand Union.
Too, they all got different feels. Mac and Grand Union are a little similar, but still.
Yeah.
John Jay is a different one. It's a little bit posher. It's a little
bit. Right. You can't get crazy up there. There's always cops around.
A little fancier, man. You in Massapequa, so.
Right. Yeah, you in Massapequa.
You are in Massapequa, which is a predominantly white town. It's pretty much an all white town.
Right.
But it's on the border of Amityville, for those who don't know, in Long Island. So you can't really get too wild out there, like you said.
Yeah. So so I'm putting this story in it because this just shows you now. I'm gonna show you where I transitioned from.
I want to hear that transition, and we're gonna talk about these Amityville days.
Right. So we run into your brother, PJ Smith. We run into Craig Stewart, Richard Payton. They're all up there. Now they're all playing. Like, that's what they were doing. And
right now,
when I tell you, and this is honest truth. And whoever gonna say that this is an honest truth, they know it's truth because it's gonna kill you on the inside. No one would bring the ball up against PJ. And that turned me. I'm like, yo, where's the competitiveness at? Like, y'all dudes are scared to play. Because at this time, you probably don't know, but at this time, there was a PJ, it was more of a PJ reputation than an AJ reputation. A lot of people don't know that. It's more the PJ reputation than the AJ reputation. Because AJ was going to Long Island Lutheran. And PJ was like that next guard to come up after you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was nothing no one could do with him. So I ended up, leaving D and them. They were still doing their coaching thing, but I ended up leaving them and, started, messing with P and them. And
I gotta go over there.
Yeah, let me go where they competing at. Like these
dudes, go over there. There's something over there that I need.
Something there. Like they're competing. They yelling at each other. And that's the stuff I like. I like that. I don't want to sit here and not be able to curse. We couldn't curse with D and them. We couldn't do none of that. Like, nah, they play with emotion. So that transitioned to me a little bit, and it's like, all right, this is what Amityville basketball is. Now I'm seeing, all right, so these dudes got this with them, and then this is in their bag. Craig is already working on things I'm not working on. John and Derek, they dunking. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not even dunking right now. So
your mind is blown, but you're like, man, I gotta come up.
I gotta come up. Like, and this is what I want to do. Is what I want to do. Is
championships ahead of you. So your mind is jogging. Like, I need to be over here, and I got some work to do, but I'm gonna go over there, and I'm gonna start doing it.
Right. So ninth grade year. Summer going into my ninth grade year, I'm playing at Grand Union Park, and Grant, you know how Grand Union Park is, man. You get people.
I was got to fight with a grown man in 10th grade.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You get dudes from all walks of the earth.
From everywhere. Like that, I mean, he wasn't an Amityville guy. He was somebody from another town.
Another town. And he came in with the car dudes. You feel what I'm saying? They drinking 40s on the court and they come on to play. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. And they don't care if you a kid or not. If you on the court with them, they're gonna treat you as such. You feel what I'm saying?
It definitely gives you a edge. It
gives
an edge. It's a moment.
So I think I developed my edge from playing against other grown men, you know, and I ended up meeting this dude. So I'm really out there killing grown men, and this dude like pulls me to the side. He's and like, yo, who do you play for? He like, I'm like, I don't play for no one. He's like, you don't play no AAU basketball? I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
What's AAU?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like I played with UNAO, that's CYO or PAL. I've done that before. You know, shout out to matter of fact, RP John the Pass. I played with him.
RP man, he was the homie.
He like, well, gave me his phone number and like, yo, I have practices here and his name. You come here. It was in Wyandanch. Those people who don't know Wyandanch and Amityville, you know. So when he said Wyandanch, I'm like, nah, I ain't going, man. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, man. Like, he like, just where do you live? Asking me all these questions.
Asking me a lot of questions, bro.
Right. He like, listen, meet me here. I'm gonna pick you up and I'll take you to practice. So I left the park probably like 4:35, man, and I met him down on Great Neck Road by the old block on Albany, and we went down. So we're practicing and see some dudes in there, man, that, you know, practical players that you know, eventually became like all Long Island. Dudes went to college. So I'm in the gym with dudes like Kenny Jones, Solomon, he went to Stony Brook, Mitchell Buford. I'm in the gym with these dudes and Sadrack Numa and you know, some dudes that ended up being some dudes.
Really good players.
And I'm taking this all in. I'm like, all of us is on one team. And his name, you know, he goes by the name Coach Andre, man, Coach Dre. Yeah, man, Coach Dre, man. Dre Edwards. Started with him.
So it seems like, not to cut you off, it seems like there's been key people at key moments in your life.
Key moments.
To keep you going from way left with your home situation. Is that valid?
Valid, real valid. Because now it's bringing me into a whole nother realm of basketball is bigger than Amityville now.
So let me freeze it there. What was your thought process now to be like, man, maybe I don't have to be a street dude. Maybe I don't have to be the drug dude. I don't have to be the gunman to do something. Like, was there a shift inside your mind once these things started to happen? Or the pull from the streets was still real strong?
Nah, the pull, I was still pulling. The pull was still there. It wasn't, I didn't really, you know, 9th grade year, it was, I was still there. I was still 1 foot in and 1 foot, like, you know, this is where I need to go.
So when do you feel like that shifted more so till you got
10th grade year.
10th grade year, let's get there.
10th grade year is when it really shifted because I just witnessed that the dynasty with Jason Frazier. You know, them doing godly things from the same town that I'm from. You know, and I mean, what there was nothing like when you see it in a box. It's like, yo, we didn't have no trainers, none of that. Like, these kids have all of that now. We didn't have none of that. These guys all just from the same hood went and shocked the world. Not only that, from a small school on Long Island, and ended up being the number 3-4 team in the nation. Now this is like, okay, this is what I can see myself doing something. You know, once this guy leaves, I know there's a door open for me once he leaves. You know,
was you nervous about that, or was you excited? Was you confident? Not confident?
I was confident because that summer I had a great summer on the circuit.
Gotcha.
Going into my 10th grade year, I had a really great summer on the circuit with Dre. You know, that's when I started receiving some letters, and it's like Dre, you know, Dre in my ear, like, all right, bro, like he like, yo, got to get your grades right. You know, it's, you know, and when people used to tell me that, I sit there like, oh yeah, they good. Knowing, you know, they were good. I was only still coming to play basketball and free lunch and kick it in the lunchroom, you know. But you know, my name is buzzing, buzzing off. You know, but 10th grade year was an eye opener because as confident as I was, I still wasn't quote unquote good enough to start. So that was
did that or if we're going to be honest, did that bother you?
It did bother me because at that time, you know, like no one knows this.
You felt ready to go.
Yeah, at that time, you know, Dre was going to like coach somewhere else, and he was like, I could have went with him. You know what I'm saying? And started.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen that way. It wasn't in the plans for that. You know, and you know, Coach Agostino, you know, he had loyalty to, you know, to the upper class, and I respect that.
To a point.
To a point. I respect that to a point. To a point. Because I feel like if, you know, maybe we can go undefeated if I'm in the starting lineup.
In the lineup, you might have a different, you might bring a whole different attitude from the jump.
Right.
For sure. So I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for being like upfront with that. If it bothered you, bro, it bothered you. Then we're talking.
It bothered the hell out of me because I'm playing against. I go from a summer of playing against top level talent in the nation to coming back. And now I go to the bench.
Yeah.
But I know that the guys in front of me, and there's no disrespect. I just know the guys in front of me didn't put that much pain in the summertime to where you're a player now. You're a player where you can go somewhere and people know your name. Yeah. You can go to ISA and Pete on a mic, he got a name for you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. Yeah.
But
all right, so with that, did it interfere with your play, or you just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I ain't feeling it, but I'm gonna rock with it. Or did you feel like it pulled your level of play down, attitude down, even if it's just a little bit? You feel like it did?
You know what? Just I'm gonna keep it honest, bro. When it comes to Long Island basketball, like our league play, I didn't really care. You know, we was, and not to sound like some Amityville cocky dudes, we was gonna smoke you regardless.
Yeah, there was a time where the talent just dominated, and we'd be up big by quarter number 3, sometimes halftime, and it was just kind of letting everybody play.
Right, and it was, you know, if I got to come off the bench, I know I can still get my 12. I know I can still get 10 rebounds if
in 14 minutes.
In 14 minutes.
Yeah.
So that part didn't bother me that much. With that part, it bothered me in big games.
Y'all playing big games now, man. Remember, Jason Fisher, we kind of set the table. So you're looking at like 99, 2000.
Yeah, y'all set a table.
The table's been set. So there's a lot more big games. People highlight these games, and these are the games you're talking about.
Y'all set the table for us.
I should be in the lineup for these games.
Right. I should be in the lineup for these games. When we're at Slam Dunk to the Beach,
I need him in the lineup.
I should be starting this shit.
And that's something that I think there's something like internal that starting lineup holds so much more weight than being a bench player. It may not, it probably shouldn't be that way, but I think when you're growing up in these different types of situations, Mark, that it helps to solidify and validate you. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not only a part of this thing, but I'm one of the main cogs.
Yeah, and it's not like
that in the neighborhood, in the school. Oh, yo, he starts for them guys.
Right.
Sometimes the starters, like you said, the starters didn't finish. Like in your case, you was still a finisher.
Right.
You wasn't a starter. That's the first thing, because you get your name called off on the microphone and you run out. The cheerleaders, everybody. There's difference there than you being a bench player. So
and then after a while, it was like and that year I came up the bench with your brother. So after a while, me and him, like, we just put our heads together. We were like, yo, we just gonna kill everything moving when we get off this bench.
We're just gonna turn up off the bench now. Like this is what it is.
This is what it is. We know that me and you got the green light off the bench.
What happened with that year?
We ended up losing 2 big games at Slam Dunk to the Beach to Spignon. Spignon is from Maryland. They like always have a top program there, and so that was a game where it was like me and Pete came off the bench and we should have been playing more minutes, but that is what it is. But we got to league play and we ran through the league. Ended up going upstate and winning the championship that year.
You won the championship, dog.
Championship, man,
and to my understanding, you was a big part of that.
Yeah, I was on the all-tournament team.
Congratulations. Big part of that.
Big part of it, off the bench. And I was, that right there was it was gratifying, but I wasn't.
It wasn't all the way gratifying, because again, our thought process is different than it is now. I say, and then sometimes the things that are enjoyable are not as enjoyable as they should be back then. So I can attest to that. Let's talk about the senior year. Let's fast forward to the senior year now, because you ringing out now. You got championships. You got some accolades. You've been playing AAU. Been on the circuit with Dre. If I'm not mistaken, y'all was one of the top teams in the country, at least top 30, 40 teams in the country. And y'all was an independent team, no sneaker deal or nothing. Just a bunch of dogs out there getting it. Am I right?
There's some dogs getting it, bro. Like my junior year, that summer we were running through, man. It was so hard because you had these teams that had sneaker deals, and we beating them, and that puts a spotlight on you, because what are you doing? How are you guys beating these teams? And Dre, Dre is a good coach. He understands the game. Like, he can play
the game, but he also understands people. That's one of the things that's undervalued. Like, you could understand people,
right,
and not have X's and O's, or you can have X's and O's and not really understand people. That's the fine balance with coaching, and that can make or break a team, because otherwise the players got to play, but there's a certain level, and Dre finds that balance because he also has a story. He was also a player,
right, and he doesn't get a lot of credit for his X and O's. He knows the X and O's.
He knows basketball, bro.
So it was positions on teams, man. It was when we were playing against these top teams. He would definitely outcoach the other coach, because that coach was just relying on talent.
A lot of guys is just, we're just going to recruit the talent and let them rock. So what's going on with the senior year? I want to know what's the thought process with that? Tie into a little bit of school and the recruitment, and then we're going to touch upon these after high school years.
So what ties into the senior year, I have to go like toward the end of my junior year. So towards the middle of the junior year, I'm still, AJ's there.
Yeah.
AJ had a hell of a summer too. I had a good summer. I was still getting, recruitments from school. Rutgers, Long Beach State, Utah, UNC Wilmington, Tennessee. These are all the schools that's hollering, but I still ain't taking my grades seriously, and at this time I got a baby on the way. A gets suspended if whatever. So it'd be, that offensive load, it falls on me, PJ, and Craig. And I felt like, for me, we were supposed to play this national televised game against Rice.
Yeah.
And that summer, Rice I mean, that year they had a squad and
It was loaded.
they were loaded.
Name some names
But
real
we
quick.
didn't have enough.
Name some names real quick off that Rice team.
Oh man, they had Russell Robinson. They had a young Edgar Sosa who ended up going to Louisville. Curtis Kelly, who ended up going to UConn, and he transferred to Kansas State. They had Arturo Gotti, played at Manhattan. Marcus Cox played at Stony Brook. Wayne Yuga went to Florida State, but he played football.
Loaded. And how'd that game go? Did y'all fare well in that one? Or that was...
Now they beat us bad, man. I think we had the worst beating in school history.
Yeah, they do.
They probably beat us by like 40.
Yeah, they do.
Lightly, but that was a wake up call for the players and myself. Because I never one of those dudes to be like, yo, we lost by 40, but I still had 17 and 13, and then like.
No, we lost by 40.
We lost by 40. But that was a wake-up call for all of us because it showed us that, you know what, there's teams out there better than us.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And we just not going to walk on the court thinking because we got Amityville on our chest that teams are going to lay down.
That's amazing, but that's amazing that program had gotten to that level to where you can even feel that from a public school. Rice is a private school.
Private school, like that's just the bricks you guys laid.
That's pretty awesome.
And I always say that, like I say that even today. Like I'll finish this in a minute with what I say, but so we, I felt like that game sort of it didn't help. Didn't really help that we lost that bad because, you had players on the team that wasn't really about it, really about that basketball. They had football scholarships and they, stuff like that. So to them, it didn't really mean nothing. To me, it's like, yo, I see these guys every summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with these dudes off the court. Now I'm going to hear it for the whole year. Yo, so we smacked y'all. You know what I'm saying? You've been around. You've been around that, especially the city in Long Island. They look at us like country bumpkins. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we some dudes from the country. You know what I'm saying? And when you have relationships,
but that is the perception.
Right. That's perception. So when you
that didn't help the perception, so that bothered you.
It bothered me because I know how Kurt is my man. So I know Kurt what he's gonna say the next time he see me. I know what Mark is gonna say to me the next time he see me. Like, yo, what happened? What happened? Like, y'all didn't. The one thing I heard, yo, y'all can't play without AJ, and that did something to me because it's like, yo, no. So I think after that game, I think we won like 8-9 straight.
Yeah.
We were on. And then we had to run into them again. This time we playing them at St. John's. Ran into them again. Well, we ready? No. I feel like those losses sort of fall on me because if I just knew how to break a press, you know what I'm saying? Or if I was, in my head confident enough to be like, yo, Mark, dribble the ball up the court.
Yeah, just play that Draymond role, play that Draymond Green role, release some pressure. And
right.
These are the types of things that we look at as as a grown man, and these are some of the things that we were lacking. And it's not just in our town, man, but I've had conversations with other people, and I will have conversations with other people. These are the things that are lacking all the way around, but just stuff like that. And this is the type of stuff that you see, like myself, through the fitness industry and other trainers that we're pouring into the kids. And I'm hoping that these kids are taking these things serious, man, and understanding the value and the resources that they have.
Yeah, and that's real. It's just a thought. It's just, Mark, turn and run the ball up the court.
Hey, just take 3 or 4 dribbles to half court, man, and release pressure. But it was like, I'm a big man. I'm a
big man. Let me go to the post.
And I outlet, looking for my outlet.
Right. So we ended up losing that, going to the States again. At this time, me and AJ's the face. AJ's the face, but I guess I'm his Shaq. But we ended up losing in the state championship game. And that hurt. That hurt a lot for me, it hurt. It hurt a lot because I felt we were better than the team we lost to, even though the other team had a pro, Andy Rollins.
He can shoot that rock. He can shoot that rock.
I tell you, he can shoot, bro.
Wait, about 6'7"?
Andy was like 6'5".
6'5", yeah, that sounds about right. He's not that. He's not
6'5", man, and
he'll let the gun go for sure.
He'll let it go. He'll let it go from anywhere. All he needed was like that much space.
Yeah, that wasn't space.
We ended up losing by 3 points, and so that year, going into my senior year, that senior summer had a good summer, but now there's no hiding that you have bad grades anymore.
You can't hide it because we squarely in the recruiting process.
Really in the recruiting process. You can't hide it no more. Ag can't hide it for you. You know, he's gonna be real. One thing, Ag is gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? He get a knock on him being a player's coach and he have his favorites. No, he's gonna be real. I'm gonna tell you how real it is. Now my senior year, I'm in my senior year, and it's you know, I have my son, and
so now you got a son.
I have a son. Now
Yeah, high school. So now you're not just responsible for yourself, and then also you've been a grown man status since 7, with family, bouncing from situation to situation. So I'm sure that there was you felt a little weight in trying to keep the family afloat, and now you got a son.
Now I got a son, man, and I was in. The crazy thing is, I was in. You remember the Adidas Big Time tournament in Vegas?
I do.
I was in Vegas when my son was born.
You was in Vegas when your son was born?
Vegas. I was in Vegas, bro, at the tournament, and got back to the hotel. And Coach Dre was like, "Yo, put me on the phone," and he was like, "Yo." Sent me. This is when we had the little snap pictures, a little on the phone. He sent me a picture of it, and
a little flip phone.
My whole world was like, "Damn, okay." It didn't really hit me because we was on a mission out there. You know what I'm saying?
You're trying to handle business out there, and you're like, if I take my mind off of that, it's going to derail my whole thought process. So you're kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Right. Mentally, but it showed with my play out there that I was, because I wasn't all that focused when I was there. So I probably had a bad tournament for me per se. I think I had a bad per se, honestly.
You got a kid now, bro. Like, that's understandable. You brought as a human being in the world, you know what I'm saying? That you're going to be responsible for. So that's understandable.
Right. So senior year, it went like this. It was I'm still struggling though. I'm still struggling, bro. I'm still poor, still struggling, But my mom and them moved out of Amityville, at this time. They she had a crib in Bay Shore. So I'm like, I'm not going to Bay Shore. My senior year.
Not trying to do it.
And so we had the apartment, and she was like, well, you could just stay in the apartment in the Ville. And at this time, I'm 18. I'm with a kid. I'm like, oh, I could do it.
Yeah.
But the apartment ended up being rented out to some dudes. And one night I was there, this shit got raided. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, by the grace, I was quick enough to get out of there. But
where's the baby at?
We was with his mom at the time.
Okay, mom. Okay. So you on your own at that time, and you had to get home. You had to get up out of there.
Right. So I ended up going to my best friend, man, named Tamar Frazier, Jason Frazier's little cousin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, bro, I need somewhere to stay, bro. Like,
They ran down
on the crib, and he like, yo, I'm gonna ask my mom's. His mom, man, I call her my mom, and she like, yeah, you can stay, like. So I ended up from my senior year, man. He was like, I was there, and I was focused. I was focused now.
Yeah, could you feel like there's at least a secure spot for me?
Right.
And this is probably one of the first times that you might even felt like that. Is that valid?
Valid. That's real valid.
You know what I'm saying? Only a handful of times, if any.
Right. That's real valid. So I'm like, all right, I got a place to stay. So I got a place to stay. I got food. You know what I'm saying? I got clothes.
Oh, this is mind blowing, bro. Like, people don't understand. They see the uniform, they see you playing, and it's either you scoring a lot of points and helping the team win, or you're not. This is something that they never see. and not even a lot of people ever ask. And then at the same time, this is hard. This is at that age, you don't want to reveal.
No, not at all. I walked around with so much pain that people didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a type of person that'll smile and, you know, I'm always cheerful, always joking.
You mastered very well, bro, because I had no idea. I'm sure there's quite a few people that's going to be enlightened by this, man. So again, I appreciate this, man. But I don't think it's just you. You're going to help a lot of other people because I'm sure there's at least one other person, that can see the parallels in their life, bro. So if you can just help them with this, bro, we doing our job.
Right. So see, yeah, man, it went off, man. So now I'm not only the only one with championship experience, but you know, I'm like the only one that got ties to all of you guys. You, Jason, AJ. I got ties to it. And now it's like, in my head, that whole summer was, yo, I gotta get upstate. There's no way I can show my face around town if I lose in the first round or something. That's just not Amityville ball at this time. We're championship or bust.
That's your thought process.
Right.
Who put that on you?
I don't know if anyone put it on me. It was just something that I think I inherited. Like just from
You felt like I think that's a valid word. And you inherited.
I inherited that. That's the steps that you guys laid down.
I gotta do it.
I gotta do it. Especially being the man of the team now.
Gotta do it.
You absolutely have to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you guys would come back, you know, senior alumni days and practice with us, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was always that. So started off.
That way?
Yeah.
Did your teammates feel that way?
Did my teammates feel that way? You know what it was with my senior year? It was a lot of on the court. I'm a mean animal, but I'm not really the greatest leader on the court. So I allow things to happen that a real leader wouldn't. So some players wanted to just get their stats.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the starter. Like you just said a few minutes ago, you know, being a starter is your name, that comes girls liking you.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm a starter, I'm good.
All that didn't matter to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in survival mode at all times. I'm trying to get something out of this. I know I'm not, by this time my senior year, I know I don't qualify. You know what I'm saying? I know I don't qualify for the clearinghouse. I know that. So I need to at least get something out of this year. You know, I'm not too much in the survival mode like I was, but it's still a possibility. You know, I can't stay at this man's house after this. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, start of the year we played Lawrence Woodman Academy. Now, Amityville hasn't lost at home.
Is that Tyrone Nash?
Tyrone Nash, yeah.
Notre Dame. I'm saying these names. I'm saying these names, Mark, just so people that don't know. Mm-hmm. There's been quite a nice amount of talent in our general area,
right?
And also who we played outside of our area. So if I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want people to know because you know what I'm saying, like you said, people from outside of our general area is going to see this,
right? So,
not help them out. So Lawrence Woodman.
So at that time, in Suffolk County, I'm the top player in Suffolk County this year. Respectfully to my man John Garcia, who ended up going to Seton Hall. That was my man. But when it comes to just being a top player, I'm the guy in Suffolk County. I felt like I was the best player on Long Island. But that's just when you're a competitor, that's how you feel. So Lawrence Woodman comes into our gym, and you know, at this time, we lose our starting point guard. He ends up getting suspended. And Coach Ag is like, yo, you gonna run the ball? You wanna bring the ball up? I'm playing every position on the court.
Draymond.
I'm Draymond before Draymond now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the look-alike.
you know, he came to a few AAU games. He saw me dribbling the ball. You know, I'm confident now to dribble the ball up the court. So I'm playing every position, man. And I never knew the amount of energy it takes for a point guard.
It's a lot.
I was dead. God, I was dead. Like, I'm like, yo, I can't bring this ball up the court.
I'm tired.
And I'm tired. I can't do what I normally do.
I can't rebound. I can't create no space down there because I'm tired from just bringing the rock up.
Tired from bringing the ball up. We ended up losing about like 3-4 points. And I was probably like 3 assists away from a triple-double. But all I heard in the paper the next day was like, Amityville snaps home record of wins.
They snapped their streak. They snapped y'all
streak of like 100 and some games. And my name was right on the bottom of it.
Right there, highlighted.
Highlighted, you know? And that did something to me. It changed me in a way to where like, all right, this is what it feels like to be the man.
Yeah.
Everything is gonna fall on your shoulders, no matter good game, bad game, whoever scores, whatever, you know. And so we run it, man. We losing some games here and there. We don't lose in the league, no league play games. We get to the playoffs. We get to the Long Island Championship game. We play Floral Park. At Floral Park, they were like on a 20-game win streak. But in my head, it's like, I always play basketball with this type of notion here. Like, it's nothing that your opponent ain't done nothing that you ain't been through. He can't do nothing to you. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I always play. Like, yo, he can't hit you harder. You done been hit by grown men. Yeah. Nothing he could do that's gonna phase you. So I looked at Floral Park as food, and we beat them pretty handily. But we ended up losing the small school championship game.
So who?
Bay Point, Blue Point. Now we saw Bay Point, Blue Point 3 times out the year, right? And for some reason they were like ready for us this game. They had ran, you know, against Amityville, they run zones. They're gonna run a zone against us. They're not gonna play, man.
They're gonna run a zone because, especially with you in the interior,
yeah,
run that zone so that way y'all gotta beat us from the outside, and y'all gotta beat us all the way from the outside.
Right. So we went to overtime. We went to overtime with them in the small school championship, and they beat us, man. Sam Duncan had a really good game. They beat us in that. But once we left that alone, man, and that was another ring off for me. Like, yo, can't lose. We go upstate. We get upstate. We play Peekskill, which was, to me, was like a bad matchup for your first round game because that game was box office.
That's a box office team. Peekskill, if they don't know, people, Elton Brand went to Peekskill. So Peekskill, they ring out. They're from upstate New York.
Right. That's a game. That's a game. So we basically played the championship game in the first round.
In the semifinals.
In the semifinal. And we ended up losing. In the semifinals, man. And that was the end of my Amityville career. Then, you know, I ended up being a second team All-State, first team All Long Island, McDonald's All-American nominee. So those type of things were like things that I never thought that I would ever accomplish. You know, like just with basketball. Basketball was the things that I accomplished in basketball. It was never something that I looked at and like I would like, damn, I did that in basketball. And so that was senior year, bro.
Wow.
That was senior year.
So now you got a kid's growing up, not really eligible for much. What's the route? What's the thought process? Amityville is done. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the living situation? What's the next step for Mark?
So I had a situation where I don't know if they still do it, but you probably remember it. A school was going to Prop 48 me, right?
Explain that a little bit, just a little bit.
Prop 48 was like you wasn't eligible, right? You go to a junior college for a year or prep or something like that, but you still verbally going to commit to this school. So when you become eligible, you sign with them.
It's like a bridge. It's like a bridge in between a red shirt and ineligible.
Right.
And almost like you're on the team, but you're not on it. You got a couple of steps for you to get to actually lock in. Is that fair to say?
That's fair. That's fair to say. So Coach Ag had like he had had a good rapport with a school out in Iowa. Iowa State was one of the recruits of me, but they fell back. But Coach Ag had a junior college out there. He was like, "Yo, you should go here. Get your grades up there, still play ball, and Iowa State is right here." Now I'm from New York, bro. I'm in Iowa. Cornfield, Field of Dreams.
Real talk.
Field of Dreams, snowing in October. Snowing in October, bro. But now it's back to being independent. Nobody to wake you up. You really on your own grind now. You feel what I'm saying? You got to get to class. Got to go to workouts. I never did workouts a day in my life. You know what I'm saying? I never had basketball workouts. So now I can't. It's 7 a.m. workouts. After lunch, you got practice. Study hall. So now it's like, at that time, it's too much freedom for me at that as well. Because now that I'm in Iowa, I'm on some other stuff out there now. Like, I'm doing things out in Iowa where it's not beneficial to me. I'm forgetting my plan, my goals.
What I'm here for. It started. My priorities started shifting, and they
started shifting. I'm looking at. You think about it. I think about it like I'm looking at Iowa as a vacation. Like I'm on vacation. Like I'm away from my problems back home. When in the case, that's not how it should have been when I was in college. So me being in college, when I'm supposed to be using that as a tool.
Right.
So I ended up getting into some trouble out there, and what forces me to for them to release me from the school. And I get released from the school, and now I'm back at square one. I'm back home. Back home, father, no job, no degree. Now I gotta provide for myself, provide for my son.
And this is something that you've been doing since about 7 years old.
7 years old, bro.
But how's the weight feel, man? Do you feel
the weight of the world? It was so much weight, man. It was so much weight. Like, I never had a drink until I was like in college. So I never was one of those kids in high school drinking or smoking. Like, I started drinking, you know what I'm saying? Drinking, smoking weed just for that.
It was an outlet. So it was like
outlet. Right. That little outlet. Stopped playing ball. I was mad at basketball, so I stopped playing basketball. I couldn't watch basketball.
Did you feel at that time that you was failing? Did you feel like a failure?
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't come home. I felt like I couldn't look my parents in the face. I felt like I couldn't look.
Where was you at? Where was you at? Where was you staying?
I was back in Amityville.
Back in Amityville.
Back in Amityville, man. So I hear the rumbles. People will see me, and I hear him like, yo, what is he doing home? Like, I thought he was playing ball. I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? Stuck in and out.
Yeah, so I duck into places and yo, someone invite me somewhere. I'm like, yo, who's there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he's self-conscious now. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to be over here, man. Like, I'm supposed to be making some type of move. I
right.
had an illustrious career. I'm fresh out of it, and I fumbled the bag in Iowa, and I'm here. So bridge us into the next move.
So the next move is, man, like, you know, so like the Frazier family is like my second family. They got a, you know, they have a uncle named Uncle Paul, man, who's like the realest dude, bro. Like, and I mean, I remember he just set me down one day. Was like, you giving up on your? Why you just giving up? Like, what are you giving up for? Like,
Did you agree with that? You feel like you were giving up?
yeah. I was done with basketball. It was like there was no reason for me. Like, I can't get this academic stuff down. I can't do this. You feel what I'm saying? And like, you giving up, man. Like, I know people. So we ended up they do these like JUCO camps. So I go to the JUCO camp. It was in New Jersey. So I worked out with Jerry Powell for like 2 times, just to, you know, sharpen up some stuff. And then I did some stuff on my own. And at this time, I learned out how to work out using weights, you know, because in my head, you know, before, like I said, I never touched the weight. So in my head, it was like, if I lift weights, I'm gonna get too big. I can't shoot the ball.
That's what they say. That's what you know what I'm saying. So these are the type of misinformation that's out there on the, you know, side of it. There's always a proper way to do, you know, that. So of course,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
right, wrong way to do those things. But we didn't really have access to that. Our weight room was really non-existent. It was pretty much a
Right.
small space with like 2 or 3 pieces of equipment in there that was rusty that nobody really dealt with. So
No.
this is something that we all can relate to. So now
Yeah.
you go to this JUCO camp.
Yeah, I'm at the JUCO camp now. So I'm there, and I play pretty well. I play pretty well to get, you know, some looks again from some JUCOs, some Division I JUCOs at that. So I ended up going out to Texas.
What school?
I ended up going to Blinn Junior College. It's Chris Anderson, Birdman.
Birdman.
He went there.
Cam Newton went there for football.
Cam Newton's my man. Then we was there at the same time, and
yeah, Cam rang out. Then he went over.
Cam rung out, but you know, it didn't really. At this time, I'm 21, 22, and so I'm there, but I'm still not really there.
Halfway.
I'm halfway there again because it's like, you know, don't want to. It wasn't like I don't want to make excuses because I'm 35 years old, bro. There's no excuses. I was just like back in the same state of like, yo, I gotta make money, bro. I got a kid at home.
This ain't making me no money.
This ain't making me no money going to classes. And I'm
not looking at the long term.
Not looking at it.
I need money.
Like, I'm going to class, I'm waking up, doing these workouts. I don't want to be in these workouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a dorm room with this 18-year-old kid. I don't know this kid. Like,
I don't know you.
I don't know you, bro. Like, you a kid to me now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You jolly. The world to you is new to you. Like, this is all love. Like, I've been in this world, bro.
I've been in grind mode. You know what I'm saying? Out the mud since birth.
Right. So ended up. So I played like half the year there. Played half the year there, and then when I came back home, I went home, man, and I just started thinking like, I'm like, yo, I'm not going back. Not going back. And I stopped. I'm like, I called the coach, like, Coach, man, I thank you for everything, but I think I'm not gonna return for the second part of the year. And he was, he's like, man, I wish you the best.
I'm not going to steal a roster spot, man. Go ahead, get out somebody else. So
I'll give it to one of these kids who really, really want this.
For sure. So that's an honorable thing. Like, man, I'm not even in this space mentally. So y'all go ahead. What's the next step? So is the basketball career pretty much over?
I got with Mike James. Yeah, I got with Mike James while I was down there, and he had some looks, some overseas things. He knew some people, some agents. So he said he wanted me to play in Pro-Am with him. So I ended up playing in this big Pro-Am in New York called Nike Pro City.
Pro City.
Right, it's one of the biggest Pro-Am. For y'all don't know, it's one of the biggest Pro-Am amateur leagues in the country.
Yep.
I don't know if it's still today, but back then it was. So I'm on a team with real pros now. I'm on a team with Charlie Villanueva, Zendon Hamilton, Joe Forte, Kiki Clark, Kiki Clark,
Kiki Kendrick. Yep.
Yeah, I'm on a team with him. Yeah. Mike James, Maniac.
It's a lot of personalities on that team. Lot of real good ball players.
I'm at the end of the bench.
Yeah, as you should be.
What am I doing? These dudes is
they're already certified.
Certified All-Americans. You know what I'm saying? Mike James is just coming off his greatest career, season of his career. He averaged 20.
Yeah, 20 for the Raptors.
For the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? So I played it was 3 other young dudes. We just had to play our position. We get in when we get in. So we whenever I got in, I'm a man now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make you feel it. I'm not thinking of nothing else. So got with it. I had a pretty good game against Ron Artest. Ron Artest is the strongest dude I ever played in my life. Super strong.
I played against his brother too, and his brother Danny Artest, man. He was giving Jason fits up at ISA. The family is naturally just different.
Ron Artest is so strong, bro. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, Artest is a different, bro.
I thought I was strong. But he had pro moves with pro strength. So it wasn't like he was throwing his strength around. It was the fact that he could do certain things with his strength that made it differently. So like a regular rim run, turn, and it was nothing I can do, bro. It was just like I'm a professional. I'm a professional. But it was me and him had a really good game against each other. So then we went over. My basketball career faded off at this overseas tryout, and I thought I played pretty well. I had a few of the teams like, we're gonna give you a call, and nothing ever festered. No call, and ended up. That was it. I was like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with, at this time now, I'm coming to grasp with basketball being over.
It's going to be recreational now. So what's this next step?
So the next step is, man, now I'm in the workforce. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I know that I use basketball as much as I could. It helped me, build rapport with people.
Yeah, networking, connection.
Working, and basketball helps you as a person, really. Sports helps you as a person because it's a team thing. So you can go into the world.
Do you think the sports like really altered your life from where?
Oh yeah.
Without the sports, without Randall Hawkins, without Coach Miller, without the basketball, does this sit down happen?
No. It don't happen. It don't happen at all.
And this is what needs to be. This is what needs to be be heard. We need to make sure that this is ringing out. That these type of situations happen way more often than we even know. So again, we appreciate you sharing this part. So now you're in the workforce. Let's kind of start wrapping up this, because I'm gonna have a few questions and we're gonna tie this thing up.
Oh yeah, man. So I feel like
all the way up until now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We got family life, we got kids, we got what we got?
I got, I'm a father of 3, 2 twins. I just had 2 twins, man. You know, I have my own security company.
Beautiful.
You know, we work with some top-notch artists out there, but I also teach.
You also teach.
Also teach. Yeah, also teach, man.
What age group are you teaching, boss?
I teach middle school, so I teach like 11, 12, 13.
What's like that? What's like the main category that you're teaching them?
Humanities. So I teach everything. So I teach English, history.
You teach a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, man. It's rewarding. It's rewarding because never in my life would I have ever thought that, I would end up being a teacher.
A teacher.
I hated academics.
Right.
But it's rewarding though because I understand now what teachers were telling me when I was a kid.
So you're hopeful that one of these guys will take heed to what you're saying just based off the experience of your own experience.
Right. So, now when I see a kid, who looks like he's gonna go down that path, I pull him to the side.
To the side, man, giving those words of encouragement, but keep it real.
Keep it real with you, man. Like, yo, dog, you want to play basketball? You say you want to be the next LeBron James? You better get your grades right, bro.
You can't.
I'm not just gonna tell you that. I'm gonna show you how to do it. See, that's a lot. See, a lot of people were telling me, get your grades right, but it wasn't no showing me things to do, how to get it.
That's super valid because I think there was a fair amount of support system in Amityville, even without basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you, big dog. I see you rocking. I see you doing your thing. But I don't think there was a lot of people. There's only very few people that had the ability to show you the pathway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think you got the ability, you got the talent, you got this. You can do all these different types of great things. But the pathway was being laid with each step of our own. Right. And then we see blueprints from God before us, but we don't know their backstory.
Right.
That's why this is
so we always knew, like, all right, you don't want to be the drunk, you don't want to be the drug addict, you don't want to do this.
Do that.
You know what I'm saying? We knew we don't want to do this. But you know what? Since we don't want to do this, you see me you telling me to do this here. I want to do this, but I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it. So now I'm in a position to, like, let me show you how to do it.
Right. Show me how to do it. And I feel like, and that's one thing that, especially our kids today, our kids are more visual learners than we were. So you got to show, like, a kid today is going to tell you to your face, why do I need to learn social studies?
Yeah.
How is this social studies going to help me get these Jordans?
Yeah, so you got to break it down because they only see a very their perspective is very narrow. It's right there. Whereas you elevate, you can see a lot more.
Right.
Let's tie back this, bro. What would you say your biggest regret was in your career?
Biggest regret. My biggest regret would have been
if any. Don't let me put that on you if you don't have any.
Nah, like I said, man, I'm so at peace with my career, man. I could talk about it, I could dig it back up and throw it back in anytime. My biggest regret was really not putting a lot into my academics. I know I was smart enough to qualify, even if it was just that 2.0 at that time, that 2.5.
Definitely.
You feel what I'm saying?
It was you had a lot of moving parts to your story. So if you would have just tightened up in that area, we could have had a different outcome in certain situations.
Right. You know what I'm saying? If there was a prep school or something that at that time was starting to ring off more, you know what I'm saying? Where I could have been like, yo, let me get a prep school thing out of this. You know what I'm saying? Go prep route.
For sure. What was your best moment? What do you feel like your best moment was?
My best moment, man, was me being able to take that team upstate. Even though we lost in the semifinals, that was was the moment for me because I felt like I belonged.
Belong to what?
I belong. My name to be mentioned with the other Amityville greats because not a lot of us get there.
Was that important to you?
And it was that important.
Why did you feel like that was important to you?
Why? I didn't hear the rest. What you said?
Why did you feel like that was important to you?
Because of the competitor that I am.
Yeah.
I'm the competitor that I am. I always, just wanted to, in my head, I wanted to be the best.
Did it feel like there was also a level of acceptance because of your off the court type of a situation, that Amityville is a bit different as far as being almost like a family fraternity?
Oh yeah, like I love my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I looked at everybody like we were brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like a big fraternity. If you put that jersey on, you're a part of something.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
And especially if you were successful with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the teams that weren't successful, I don't want to say it. I don't want to sound, like they didn't do nothing. But if you wasn't successful, you put the jersey on, you're not mentioned that much.
You're not mentioned as much.
You're not mentioned as much. The people that did something and had a focal part of it, man. When I say did something, means you did something to win, to help win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking away from the dudes that were on the bench, providing the entertainment on the bench and clapping it up for us. That we needed y'all. Y'all was there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the wolves that was out there. It's a different level when you say, yo, here's Tristan Smith. It's a different level. You feel what I'm saying? That's all right, state championship. Newsday Player of the Year. Scholarship at St. John. It's a difference. Because you was winning. You're winning. You're a winner. People respect winning.
Yeah, that's a fact. So I got 2 more questions for you, boss man.
Okay.
Well, let's run this round down real quick. Best player you played against, or if you got a couple, say it.
Like in Amityville or just
high school? While you was in the Jersey, high school or AAU?
Best player I played against while I was in Jersey.
Real quick,
probably was I say LaMarcus Aldridge.
He's big time. LaMarcus Aldridge for sure.
It's the fact that he wasn't killing me. It was the fact that couldn't do nothing with his release.
He's awesome. He got the high release. He's tall, and he's a pretty efficient player, bro.
Yeah.
That's an excellent. I mean, he has an outside shot of being a Hall of Fame player. So that's a big time.
In high school, he was shooting those 3. He was perimeter oriented in high school.
Yeah, because he stepped out 20 feet. That's his 15, 20 feet. That's where he kill at.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so let's go. I want you to describe yourself. On
the court?
Nah, just overall. You can say on the court and off the court. Describe yourself, and then I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up.
On the court, man. Describing myself on the court. I think I'm fierce. I was fierce. I wasn't afraid of anything or anybody.
Right.
So,
off the court.
Off the court, I am. Hey man, I've changed so much.
Yeah, so just give me a quick maturation from 7th grade you up to now.
Oh, from 7th grade was
like 7-year-old you to now.
7-year-old. Survival mode. I was survival mode, man. I was any means necessary.
Whatever it takes. Wow.
To mature 35-year-old Mark, I'm a family man. I'm humble. I appreciate everything because I come from nothing, so I appreciate everything. Yeah, I think that's me, man.
Give the youth especially, but give these people some words, man, some words from the heart, whether it's encouragement, you know what I'm saying, look them in the face and keeping it 1,000 with, give them some words, man, for us to leave off with.
For the youth, man, you guys are the future. You are the future. You guys have everything you need, right? And everything you want is attainable, but you got to put work in for it. You know what I'm saying? When you really want something, you want to be great at something, or whatever it is. You want to be the best doctor. You want to be the best singer. You want to, whatever your goals in life is. It's gonna take work, hard work. Sometimes it may come off easy because I'm not one of those dudes to be like, you know what, everything is gonna be hard. Sometimes it's gonna be easy, but you're gonna hit a road where it's gonna be zigzagging, and you're gonna have to figure that out. So you know, in life, man, you take everything. You don't take your losses, man. You just take them as, yo, it was just an experience, and you're gonna learn from it. You know, and just try to be better every day. Every day, just try to be better, and honor your parents. Honor your parents. As long as you have them, they still here with you. Honor them in the best way you could. You know, whatever it is, you could have came from whatever situation, man. But your parents, you know, you get one of them. You know, sometimes some people don't have them, so honor your parents and live your life. Don't live for nobody else. Live your life, and things will happen for you when in time it happens.
We appreciate that, man. And I just want to just thank you, bro. Like, I want to celebrate your accomplishments, bro. And your backstory is amazing. Your backstory is amazing. And then you're also one of few that actually got to the age of 35, because there's quite a few that have that same story and not even get there. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think about that.
Man, it's a beautiful thing based on dealing with things that most people can't fathom dealing with. And you're just telling us pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could probably deep dive in even more. So thank you for shedding some light on those things. And I just want to tell you, man, from Amityville man to Amityville man, I'm proud of you, bro. I've seen the maturation in Mark Johnson from our relationship, man. So for us doing lives and everything, and just how you're conducting yourself as a young man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how you're conducting yourself, man. You're definitely honoring the Amityville family and your family in a major way, bro. So I'm proud of you, and I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate your life, and I just say continue to pay it forward. Pay it forward with our platforms, bro. Like, this is part of what we're trying to do. We had discussions about this, so I appreciate you taking out the time of your day with your family to sit down and help others. This is more so for helping others, man. But you helped me because you've let me know a little bit about your backstory. That's not always easy to do, especially when there's some struggle involved, which you have. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're young, there's a little shame that goes with it, because a lot of the young kids don't know how to process that.
All struggle, bro. It's shameful. It's so crazy because like growing up, right? So people call me Scoobs, and I had these like nasty bumps in my head, right? I didn't have money for health insurance. I got older, got money, got health insurance. I don't have none of that. So that makes me think, like, at a time where something as small as health insurance would have stopped, like, you know, the jokes or
getting teased and everything, and now, you know what I'm saying, you wearing a do-rag, getting in trouble in school because you don't take the do-rag off.
And all it was health insurance.
These are the different stair steps, and you also see what resources could give you, and money is a resource. So, bro, this was awesome. This was awesome, and we can probably talk for another 4 hours, you and I.
Maybe yeah, man.
Part two. We're gonna have to wrap this up right here, man. For all of those people, man, share this content, man. This is gonna be beautiful. We got plenty more guests to have time to sit with me and talk. So I want you guys to make sure y'all subscribe to Champion with
Like,
Tristan.
man, hit that subscribe for this, man. Man, Tristan, you're doing a wonderful thing, man. And I pray this touch somebody, man. I know this story. It's a million of me. My stories like mine. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if this story helps touch someone, man, I don't mind sharing it. You know.
Thank you so much, bro. So make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all comment, hit the like. If y'all have any questions for Mark, let us know. And I'll make sure I get the answer for you guys best we can. Make sure that you click the bell on the YouTube channel so that you get the notifications when new content comes out. Because we're going to be putting out a lot of content on a lot of former and current athletes that I'm affiliated with, and then we're going to branch out to business professionals and all different types of things. So that way we're trying to tap into all different lifestyles. So once again, Mark, much love to everybody that's tuning in. Much love to you guys. God bless, and may y'all have a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Beautiful. It really starts from within. Starts within. Starts with your perspective, man. So be grateful and for all the things that you got, and love on one another. All right. Really appreciate you, Mark. Much love.
No, bro.
All right. Chill.